Hello viewers, this is once again Ashok, your linguistic teacher. This video is in continuation to our previous video, that is on the properties of language. We talked on the properties of language. In the first videos we talked about the arbitrariness. One of the properties we talked was arbitrariness. Next one we talked about duality of patterning. And the third one we talked about was creativity. Now we will talk on fourth property. Let's get started. Number 4 is displacement. Displacement. What does it mean? Displacement shows that we have the ability, language has the ability to communicate about the distant past or future or imaginary situation or abstract ideas. I'll give you an example. In animal kingdom, in animal communication, what they generally do is they talk or they communicate with the help of stimuli. They respond to the stimuli. Their communication is limited to the context bound condition, okay? Whereas human communication is context free. We don't necessarily talk about the immediate environment. We also talk about the distant past. I think most of you have heard the stories told by our grandparents, right? Once upon a time there was something. We understand it. Even if we don't visit, we understand about the past. We also understand, we also communicate about the future. So, displacement shows there is no space, and time. We understand anything beyond space and then beyond time. Now, science fiction, some imaginary things are given which we have never ever seen, but we understand, we communicate. So displacement is one of the most important properties of human communication, human language. Okay. Don't forget, it is not, we don't talk only about present moment. We also talk about the past and the future and abstract ideas, imaginary things, ghost, everything. So this is the fourth property. Next one, fifth property, okay, cultural transmission. Cultural transmission is other important property of human language. How do we learn the language that we are speaking at the moment? We did not bring it, whenever we were born. Actually, language is learned in the society. Without society, language is not possible. We were not taught by our parents, like that. We did not have the instinct. This shows human language is non-instinctual. We don't come along with that, that species-based, like animals. They have the same communication system, they have inborn quality. Whereas we human beings learn the language, acquire the language in society. So our language is culturally transmitted. To make it easier, in English, English child, son or daughter of English parents, brought up in China, will end up speaking Chinese, not English. It's not possible. An Indian baby taken to America and brought up there starts speaking English, not Hindi. So that is what cultural transmission is. So we learn language from the society. Without society, language is impossible. That is the other property of language. Again, Systematicity. Language is systematic. We can say language is systematic. Systematic in the sense that we have the system. Language is, all the languages in the world are, they have a grammar. There is no language without grammar. There are certain do's and don'ts, rules, which are, which are okay, which are not okay, which are applicable, some are not applicable. So these are conventional. Rules are there. Language is also conventional. We are using the same language that is spoken by our parents. Though language gets changed, okay? Language also, with the change of time and space, language also gets changed. The same word may have different meaning. And in different, society, they may use the word differently. I mean to say that different generations, they may have, they may have assigned different meaning. That's also possible in language. Okay, systematicity shows there is rule governed. There is methodical. Language is methodical, orderly, and then without order, language does not exist. Without, if there were no system, then how could we, ensure that we have conveyed the intended meaning? So systematicity is also one of the characteristics feature of language. So, well, other than that, okay, you can also say language is vocal. Generally, language is used by human beings, so it is vocal. Some of the animals, they may also use this vocal system, but they don't have this language, organs. They don't start. They don't start with these larynx and then taking out the breath from there. They don't have pronunciation things, but we human beings have. There are certain systems. We know that language, all the languages are, they have grammar. At least all the languages have vowel. If you talk about sound, all the languages have vowel sounds and consonant sounds. Okay, and all the languages have grammar. Grammar in the sense that generally, they have subject, verb, object type of things, or subject comes generally first. That is what there is a system. So systematicity is other, property of language. So today we have learned that language is an invariable possession of humankind, human being. Language made it possible for us to disseminate the knowledge and then store the knowledge and transfer the knowledge, and because of the language, government exists. Many people were conquered. We are disciplined. That is because of the language. And we also learn about the past heritage. We know about science and technology. It is possible just because of language. So you may be clear about this topic. I hope so. So thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.